This video is proudly brought to you by Web3bridge with Lex, our official sponsors for Cohort 11.
I know you must have heard that smart contracts are immutable and they cannot be changed. But why are we talking about upgradable smart contracts? Now, what if there was a bug in your smart contract? How do you remediate that? Or say you want to add additional functionalities to the smart contract, how do you remediate that? That is where upgradable smart contract comes into play.
Firstly, what is the need for upgraded smart contract? So as we know, smart contracts are fixed. When you deploy a particular smart contract, as we know it, you cannot make changes to the code. And if you make changes to the code, you have to redeploy. And redeploying it means you are redeploying the smart contract code to a different address on the blockchain. But now, this is what upgradable smart contract does. It gives you the ability to write a smart contract and then keep on upgrading the contract code using that same address. Now, how does this work, right? For upgradable smart contract, it works using the principle of proxy and implementation. So there's usually a proxy, which we'll call the mother contract, and then the implementations we will call the children contract. So in the mother contract, we always have storage. So storage is not in the children contract, or like I called it, the implementation contract. It is just in the mother contract. But then this implementation contract just imports the storage in the mother contract and then make changes to that storage using what we call delegate call. So now, what is delegate call? In very, very brief form, delegate call is simply making a call to another contract to make changes to your own storage. So like the concept I use of mother and child, when the mother makes a delegate call to the child, she's simply saying the child should run some particular function that changes her own storage or her own states. Upgradable smart contracts make use of the proxy and implementation, design, and then under the hood, it makes use of delegate call to achieve this.
So one thing to note is that when we talk about upgradable smart contracts, we are not modifying the state or the address of the contract. You're just adding functionality or trying to remediate a bug. So the contract that is deployed, the address is maintained, the balances, all the transactions that have been performed on that contract are still maintained. You're just adding functionalities to it. Now, this upgradable smart contract makes use of something known as the proxy pattern, just like my colleague has said, which consists of the proxy contracts and then the execution contracts, or some also known as the facets, such that the proxy contract holds the address to the execution contract and uses the logic in the execution contract to update its own state. Now, there are types of upgradable smart contracts. We have the transparent proxy, which is also known as the simple proxy, which uses delegate call to call the facet or the execution contracts. And that's why that is preferred. It has its own drawback. And also there is another type known as the universal proxy, which is another type of upgradable smart contract. One thing to note is that in this case, the proxy is the one calling, the user calls the proxy, which calls the facet or the execution logic, which holds the logic that is to be used to either make upgrades, make changes to the contract, or even remediate a bug.
Companies like Avigochi, companies like Composable Finance use Diamond Smart Contracts to enhance their applications, right? They make use of Diamond Smart Contracts to make their contracts upgradable, right, and modular, to save gas costs, to always update their contracts, to add or to replace or to remove facets, right? That is implementation contract.